So, like many on a drunken night, I loaded up Temu and I ordered a few things that I thought looked acceptable. I said, "Damn, that's a pretty nice looking anime for fairly cheap." So I picked it up, and when I got it, I got the beginning after the end, or as the anime community is memeing it, it ended before it even began. Now, I'll be the first one to admit I had fun with the first episode. I mean, it had I just been an oblivious anime watcher, was not online, didn't know the mass opinion of the show, didn't know it was a popular series, I'd probably come out like many average fans saying, "Okay, it's a weaker version of Mushoku Tensei, but yeah, I'd see where that would go." Now, that's the thing; it's a very popular show. Like, it's a very beloved series. Like, this is something that, like, there's certain names. Soul Leveling, Beginning After the End. The Omni Reader show, I'm drawing a blank of the full name, but you know what I'm talking about. Those are ones that, like, people are like, you need to give it the best of the best. The thing is when you get a show like this, which there are aspects, and I can already tell, that the action is probably going to be similar to Blue Lock Season 2, where they don't really animate it, so they do a lot of jump cuts and they just drag things really fast on screen. And to be honest, it's disorienting as hell. The first 3 minutes of this episode kind of show that. But the general, like, characters talking and standing around, I was fine with it. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be like, "Brandon, you're doing a disservice. You're trying to defend too much." Listen, I'm just going to always be honest with my opinions on these shows. Should it have a billion times better production? Yeah. I would say the same thing. If, Attack on Titan hadn't been made yet and it looked like this, I'm sure a lot of people would be like, would watch it and say, "Oh shit, like this seems fun," but yeah, like the production's very below average. And people like me who read the manga would be like, "You don't understand. This is like one of the best stories ever. This isn't acceptable." I completely get that. I really do. But I didn't read it. People come from my anime takes. I'm gonna keep watching it. Is it gonna be as bad as Blue Lock Season 2? Maybe. It really depends, because there was only a brief moment of action really in this episode. It's two cores, but it's split. If I was a gambling man, I would be 70% willing to bet my life savings the action will look like Blue Lock Season 2. However, I can't say for sure. I think it would have been in the show's benefit to release 2 episodes in one, but given that I don't think the production is probably on the tracks fully, I kind of get why they did it like this. Overall, I will say, Temu Mushoku Tensei, not as bad as I was expecting. The way people were talking, like, maybe because I lowered my expectations walking in, but I also know how I would feel if I didn't know this was a popular show. And I think for the masses, like, yeah, is this show gonna blow up? Probably not, because it's very mid-production. But I have seen people say that it was also similar to the Newgate production, and I really think people underestimate how bad the Newgate looked in its second half. So we'll see where it goes. Worst that's gonna happen, I'll have fun shit-talking it. Or I'll just be like, yeah, it's kind of fun. And I won't have high blood pressure like source readers, because I have no connection to the source material. I don't know, either way. I do got full live reactions. If you want to see my full thoughts on these episodes, support my work. That's where we're going to be watching no matter what. I don't know, maybe YouTube won't mess with the videos and I'll just watch it over there. Who knows? The thing is it's a fine episode in terms of narrative. Like, there's some aspects that I do enjoy, but in general, like, walking in with an open mind, I'll accept it as it is. Let's see what they do. It's fine. It literally feels like Mushoku Tensei. There's some slight differences. You don't have like a loser guy who was bullied and was a questionable person in his original life. You have a questionable person who is a evil lord, seemingly. I don't know if he was evil, but it's hard to justify raising your sword and dropping nukes on people. It's, you probably did some questionable war crimes. But that's an interesting, deviation from what you expect. A dude who can never sleep, always having to, keep an eye open so he would deal with his assassins. Well, why doesn't he get guards? Do you think he trusted guards? Okay, that's fairly interesting. And then you end up with, like, a genuinely loving family. Now, are they going to go the Mushoku Tensei route where, like, the parents are going to, like, cheat on each other or do some, like, questionable shit? I doubt it. I feel like that's going to also be a deviation. But in terms of general parental energy, they seem like two very enjoyable people. Like, they're wholesome. Do I expect one of them to die and some darker things to happen? Probably, but time will tell. But like, there's slight differences. And here's the thing a lot with, like, isekai, reincarnation, fantasy stories. When there's a popular show, because here's the thing, right? Sometimes you get into the situation where you could say, oh, this one came before Mushoku Tensei, or this one came after. It really doesn't matter. Whether you're the influence for the more popular show, or you're the one that came after the popular show, there's going to be similarities, and one's going to have done it better than the other. And I think for the mass opinion, people will say Mushoku Tensei already was better. And then there's going to be people who are like, how dare you, blah, blah, blah. The thing is I don't really care if something's like super similar to like something I like or dislike at the start, as long as they go somewhere different. And I believe they are going to go somewhere different. That's why I'm like, yeah, I kind of wish I had a couple more episodes to really see where the author wants to go with this story, because clearly the MC's personality is vastly different than Rudy. The world that he came from is vastly different, and I think his opinion of family dynamics was so warped and skewed and negative because of where he came from that this one will be a very fun difference. Because, like, that's kind of like I guess that's one of the things I'm most interested in, is when you look at, like, Rudy and how he pushed away his family, and he didn't have to, and then you look at this dude who didn't really have family, and now he does. Like, I'm interested to see what they might do with that. The thing is it's never going to escape the Mushoku Tensei allegations. Had this came out swinging with solo leveling production, wherever the story ends up going, it probably would have escaped those allegations. But because the show's going to look so mid, and that's a fair criticism of the show, it's mid as hell production. No matter what the story does, I doubt people are going to care, because most people will tap out around episode 2 or 3 if they're truly upset with this. I don't know. I think it's hilarious to see the AliExpress Temu jokes made about the show. Like, I don't have connection to this show beyond this first episode. Am I going to watch more? Yeah, it was fine enough. I got the time to spare on a Wednesday. But am I mad that people, like, there's been cases where I'm like, damn, people are really hating on this, and I feel so upset because I want people to give it a shot. I truly don't care if people don't give the show a shot. I'm gonna keep it a buck. If people say this is the worst show ever, yeah, okay. I believe in my heart that, not because, like, I want it to be, it's just I truly believe the mass opinion will be, who aren't online and know about this show, will be like, oh, okay. It's like a weaker version of Mushoku Tensei. That's going to be the opinion. As much as that might infuriate people, that's probably going to be the opinion. But it's fine. I want to see where it goes. If people say this is the worst show of the year, I'm not going to lose sleep over it. But, it's kind of like this. This is the best way I can describe this show. Sometimes you order stuff off Temu, and you look at it and you say, God damn, I ordered a lawn chair, and they gave me a miniature chair. And you're very upset by it. And then other times you do get a lawn chair, probably going to break when you sit on it the third or fourth time, but it does its job for now. That's what this episode was. It was option 2. Should it be better? I agree, yes, but I don't know. Narrative-wise, it was fine. It's fine. I don't really care. There's so much anime that I'm sorry to say, I don't really have like a hatred boner for this episode. And that's going to piss some people off, but listen, like I said, I don't disagree with people being upset over it. I don't know. I want to see where it goes. We'll see. It was an alright Temu purchase, if you ask me. You let me know your feelings. I'm sure Sorcerer's going to be salty as hell about this episode, which I get. And, for anime onlys, I mean, you already knew what to expect walking in. I doubt people watching videos on the show are, not aware of the opinions of it prior to it, but we'll see. Let me know. Leave a like if you enjoyed, though. Subscribe if you're new. Of course, ring that bell. And like I mentioned, we got full live reactions over on Patreon. And hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. So today we got George, Ryan Hopkins, Dylan Fujimoto, Aunt Jian, Sorry I'm Broke, Miglerad, and we also have Maud. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care. You'll have a good one.